And also, as well, as you mentioned before, such a younger demographic on TikTok, you kind of need to be associated with the younger generation if you're going for a presidential campaign. How, though, will this impact creators or businesses that rely on social media as their income, I guess?
If there was a ban, I think it would be significant. You know, the creator economy, I guess, as you could call it these days, it's sort of shifted from influencer to creator, sorry. But I think that would have a big impact on young creators. In America, in particular, they have a pretty significant creator fund where they're actually paid based on the amount of views that they generate. Whereas I don't think we have that in Australia. But people are generating significant amounts of money through the platform now, whether it's through their new retail platform or just through the awareness that it generates, and therefore the sales that it can generate. But businesses even in Australia too, and we're seeing this in our own agencies in Yakazoo and Frontier, that it's a terrific tool to generate significant amounts of awareness for not a lot of money on an organic level. So I think it would be an unpopular thing, given the popularity of the tool with a young demographic, with particularly a changing consumer segment as well. They're a much harder to engage audience than traditional media would elsewhere allow. So I think I don't think it would have too many positives for creators or businesses.
Michael, we do have to wrap things up shortly, but I want to get your thoughts on this. Back home in Australia, and we're talking about businesses here in Australia. I mean, they're facing a range of challenges at the moment, including hiring the right people and an uphill battle of additional costs. The list goes on, really. But also, I wanted to chat with you about payroll tax. Specifically in Victoria, it has the lowest threshold for payroll tax. I mean, the government has recently increased this threshold, but with rising wages, it still means a lot of businesses are forcing out additional taxes and potentially forcing them out of business, or worst case scenario, not wanting to employ people. Are we supporting business owners appropriately in Australia, in your perspective?
I think a lot more could be done. You mentioned payroll tax. I think most business owners would sort of argue, what's the point of it, other than just to generate tax for the sake of tax? When we talk about supporting Australian business owners, the cost of employment is increasing, taxes are increasing. The only way that I really see that happening in any meaningful way is, significant tax reform to support particularly small business in Australia. Running a business is hard. All business owners would attest to that as well. So I think absolutely more could be done, and I think that would be in the form of significant tax reform.
Michael Fishwick, lovely to chat with you. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thanks, Holly.